Folks, and welcome back here. It's our coverage of the 29th City of Mobile Championships. I am Dustin Mouret, and joining me once again is Christopher Downey on the commentary. How's it going?
Going good.
Yep, this is our final round, and we're back at Langan Municipal Park, and we hope that you'll follow and subscribe here at Flexline Productions for future coverage as we bring you the ending of it's been a fantastic tournament out here in Mobile, Alabama. And can't wait to get this final round started as we're about to start introducing our lead card here in just a moment over at hole number one. And hole number one is a pretty textbook hole.
Yeah, forehand on this left gap up the middle, and then we got a huge spike that most people take.
And we got, of course, our TD, the Tater himself, Philip Tate, giving the intros here as MattyO will be taking the box with a pretty sizable lead coming in this final round. Just needs to kind of maintain course, and he should be walking away with the trophy.
Yeah, 4 strokes is hard to make up at Muni on MattyO, but we got a couple guys in this card that might be able to do that.
And just throws that big spike hyzer line that you were talking about that's ever popular, and he absolutely sticks it.
Yeah, and if that's how he's throwing, it's going to be tough to catch him.
And of course, Cam, always a favorite out in this area, can also do it on tour when he gets the chance, and made a huge comeback in the second round after a cold start to put himself in second position on this lead card.
Yeah, and he's lining up that spike as well, and pretty routine for these first 2 guys.
Yeah, it sticks to Landon perfectly, and he'll be right there for birdie.
All right, third on the tee box for our final grouping from Birmingham, Alabama. Y'all give it up for Sullivan, Tipton.
Of course, we got Sully here out of northern Alabama, just placed in the top 15 at the Open in Tallahassee, and always a strong competitor in events here in the Southeast that he participates in, throwing that forehand line with, I think, a glow zone of some sort, and gets up there as well.
Yeah, a little deep, but should be routine for him.
Our lead card grouping from Irvington, Alabama. Y'all give it up for Downey.
And here you are, rounding out our lead card, looking to take that spike route.
Yeah, and kind of pulled it.
Indeed, and that's going to get caught up as well over on that right-hand side, and that is a tough opening shot there from you.
Yeah, after the first round I shot here, I kind of wanted to do the same thing, and this start, just kind of throw my up shot to the basket and just take my 3 and, just start the round over on hole 2.
There you go. As at least you won't take any damage on this hole, but definitely you're going to lose some strokes as it looks like the rest of the cards look to birdie this one, and that's a great putt from Sully, who is, again, a really solid putter, also a great forehand player, and looking to make a move this round and, make a name for himself. I know he's done well at some of the Huntsville tournaments like the Rocket City Blast, and again, did well at the Open in Tallahassee, so definitely a strong competitor. I think he's somewhere rated over like 1,010. I don't know exactly where, but definitely a strong player.
Yeah, I know he's over 1,000, and like I said, got to play a couple rounds with him this weekend, and it was great card mate all weekend.
Yeah, I had never met him before until this tournament, which I was kind of following you guys around this day, and definitely seemed like a great dude as we see you tapping in your par and birdies for everyone else as Matty maintains his 4-stroke lead as we head into hole number 2.
Yeah, and this one, real simple hole. Some people take the forehand on the left side, but most of the time you're going to take an overstable putter on the right and just throw it up next to this tree by the basket.
Yeah, as long as it's not windy, the backhand is usually pretty simple to come by. And yeah, the wind was, pretty low this day. So we're going to see Matty skip drive up there. Like that's probably a harp or something.
Yeah, for the first time in a couple of years, we had some good weather for this tournament.
Yeah, that's very true. It's often been rainy at least one of the 2 days of the tournament, if not both, the last couple of years. So you're right about that. We were fortunate as we are going to see Cam take an A3 here. Try to display that same line as MattyO.
A little early, but looks like it's going to skip on up right to that tree and roll to the basket.
Yeah, that is a really nice tree action there. They're going to roll him real close just to drop in a birdie. Not going to gain any ground on M.A.D.G.A, but at least he's going to keep himself in position for that, moment that may arise later on for him to attack. As Sully is going to take that forehand out over the left-hand side. Not a bad option, just a little different.
Yeah, just kind of spikes in and, just kind of hits the ground and stop, and he's inside the circle. And then I'm just going to take a, stable putter on this right side and just make sure to give it enough power to get to the basket.
Yeah, swings it a little wide, but looks like it's getting the ground action easy to get to the circle.
Yeah, a little low, but it was enough to skip and give myself a putt.
Absolutely. As here you are, first up the putt, still right there in the circle though. And of course, we had a pretty solid performance putting on our first day, and well, looks like you're starting strong here as well.
Yeah, putting felt good all weekend with an exception to like a couple putts in that second round. Felt like I really couldn't miss this weekend.
Always good to have that confidence in your putt stepping into a tournament like this, as Sully's right there to drop in his birdie. And it's like the rest of our cards should be cleaning up scores as well. So just keeping the scoring going. As again, if you haven't watched the rest of the tournament, please go check it out here at Flexline Productions. But if you know Langan, you know that on this front nine, particularly these first 7 holes, that's where you're going to get the bulk of your scoring done on this course.
Yeah, like I said, these first 9 holes are really scoreable. And then you kind of just take what the back 9 gives you.
Mm-hmm. As we're just kind of seeing the card clean up here and get ready to head over to hole A, which is actually numbered hole 3 for this tournament. And so the numbering is going to be just kind of one ahead of the true course number, I guess you could say, and up until we get to, I think, hole 11. So we are going to see Cam punch that one in and, again, just kind of keep himself within 4 of MattyO. So he just one back of that at third as we head to hole 3, 350 foot.
And you're going to see most of us take the mid-range or fairway right at the basket. Just kind of get underneath those limbs and nestle up to the basket, and then you'll have a couple of people throw the forehand over the water if you got it.
Yep. Very true. As I believe this is probably a trust out of MattyO. He just like to kind of throw it up the gut, kind of like you saw in the opening round. I imagine he won't really shift that game plan.
No, like I said, he put it right beside the basket in the first round with that same disc, so...
Might as well just do that again then. If it's not broke, don't fix it, so to speak. And yeah, that'll do. That will do.
Yeah, and pretty much same result as the first round.
Now I see a pivot in Cam's game plan. The opening day, he tried to play the forehand over the water and actually went OB and had to scramble for bogey. This round, I think, if I remember correctly, it was a Buzz SS, but like a stiffer plastic, so it kind of was like a normal Buzz, basically.
And it's got to get down, but kind of caught that tree and,
falls backwards.
better result than the first round, but he's still not going to be happy with that.
No, not at all. Not really giving him a chance to attack for birdie from over there, as I think this might be a force or something out of Sully. Plays Discraft, so full bag of Discraft disc, and yeah, just plays that wide hyzer forehand, but certainly has the power to get there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, perfect from Sully.
And here you are, again, sponsored by Flight Factory.
Yeah, Flight Factory disc and Tomahawk dies. And I'm just going to throw that same rock that I threw the first round and try to get myself a little bit closer putt.
Yeah, this is looking pretty solid. You don't even need to finish looking at it, apparently.
No, I knew out of my hands something was going to be good.
And, of course, this is Cam here playing for Infinite Disc and EV7, putting that Phi up there, trying to give it a light bid with the stepper, but mostly just trying to make sure he gets his par after a tough tee shot.
Yeah, and here I am about 15, 20 feet from my birdie.
This would be a chance to big gain. Oh, what?
Yeah, and
That looked pretty darn good to me.
it was a little high left, but, after the way I've been putting all weekend, I wasn't expecting, to miss that putt right there.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty much assured. Looked good out the hand, but You're gonna have to settle for par on this one. This is MattyO looking for his birdie, and this is a chance to extend the lead by a stroke now with Cam having to take a par. And he will drop that in the bucket, so that's gonna now give him a 5-stroke lead here on the final round.
Yeah, and Sully right here has this birdie putt to tie Cam for second.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things where usually with this tournament, it's usually Matt and Cam with the 1-2 finish, and it's just who's going to get 1, who's going to get 2. So to see someone challenging for that second spot ahead of one of them is, kind of cool to see. Kind of show you some of the other competition we have here in the Southeast.
Yeah, and Sully, like I said, is a good player. I played with him a couple times. He's definitely got the game to push Matt and Cam at this course.
As we head into hole 4, par 3, 230 feet, but just comes tricky with that water behind the basket.
Yeah, like I said, you just want to make sure that you just throw it straight at the basket, and just nestle a little short of the basket so that it doesn't go deep. Kind of as Matt is almost done, just about 20 feet past the basket. Should be safe, though.
Yeah, you play kind of the slight turning shot up the left-hand side. You can also see the more hyzer play over that bush line on the right-hand side, just kind of dealer's choice on what you feel most comfortable with. And it looks like Sully is playing that right-hand side and kind of drifts in front of the tree, but still gets up there by the pin.
Yeah, thought he was going to hit that tree, but as soon as he missed it, he had enough speed on it to get up to the basket and make it an easy putt for a 2.
And so this is Cam. I think he's actually throwing a 5 here, what he also putts with. Just looking to probably play a straight shot as well. Up the left-hand side. Oh, gets that tree, but actually still kicks him into a position where he can putt for birdie.
Yeah, he should be able to make that putt there. And then I'm going the same disc I went the first round, the MV, hopefully around that tree to the right.
So it's good as long as they can get the breaks. And yeah, that's great. So, pretty solid drives from the whole card, though Cam has left himself with a little bit of a longer putt here. But still certainly gettable, just a little bit scary with that water behind.
Really, there should be no problem for Cam.
Yeah, drops it right there in the center, so that's going to look like a star frame is brewing here on hole number 4.
Yeah, I think MattyO went maybe 15 feet past the basket, not too much for him to worry about. And then me and Sully were then 10 feet, made hole 3 look kind of easy today.
Yeah, so again, Matt has a pretty big lead to play with here, and he's continuing to throw a really excellent shot, so he's not really showing any signs of slipping up and giving a chance for the rest of his card mates to try to gain something on him here, as he will maintain that 5-stroke lead with a birdie here on hole 4. And like you said, a couple of tap-ins for yourself and Sully.
Yeah, and Sully, so far is match Matt 4 for 4, so
Yep.
He's off to a hot start already.
And he's challenging Cam as well for second position, as they're both tied up for that now as we head into hole number 5, which is in a little bit of a different pin position than maybe people are used to seeing on this course. It's going to be over here on the left, closer to the water. Similar distance, but definitely just a scarier approach to the pin.
Yeah, and you just, like I said, you want to throw something straight, have it fade to the left, and end up by that pine tree, and then you decide if you want to run the putt or not.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where it's all about your placement, whether or not you're going to be able to attack this thing for birdie. As Matt puts a good move on that disc, and a little bit of a death putt, but a short enough distance where that shouldn't be too stressful.
Yeah, he ended up right by that pine tree you wanted to be by. Really a lot of ground play, and Sully's kind of left his wide, and
That's one you probably want to lay up.
yeah, you might want to lay that one up because that one is just has OB written all over the putt.
This is Cam deciding between disc right now. Decides to go with the Alpaca, a little bit less overstable than that A3 he put on the ground. Just trying to make sure he doesn't fade as much to the left. Trying to play a little bit more center, but just did not put that in the air at all.
No, and no one's really pushing Matt now for that lead because these are holes that you got to get to, make a move.
Yeah. I mean, you figure with Sully and Cam where they're at, if Matt birdies, he's about to have a 6-stroke lead heading into hole 6, and it's looking less and less likely that someone's going to get him now. As you throw a great tee shot there, you have a great chance at birdie to gain one back and start fighting for second yourself.
Yeah, and you see Matt and Sully are probably going to go up here and just lay up. Like, it's just, it's not worth it at this point in the tournament to try to make this putt. As you see, Sully, he wants to run it because he knows he's got to get as many birdies as possible. But, yeah, he just ultimately just takes the layup and, smart play by him.
Yeah. I mean, best case scenario, you make that and you're still 5 strokes behind Matt. But you also have a chance of bogeying and now losing your chance fighting Cam for second position. It's just too early in the round to really make a call like that. So I think that's a great layup. And this is MattyO here looking to kind of go 5 for 5 to kick off this front nine. So despite having the big lead, he's certainly keeping his pedal to the metal.
Yeah, and, now at this point, it's kind of on cruise control for Matt.
Yep. It would take pretty much a colossal blow up at this point for someone to really put the pressure on him. And there's probably not even really a chance for that until you get to like hole 10 or something. So I mean, it's looking pretty good for MattyO, which is again no surprise, always a strong player around here, and of course now a strong player on tour. He's ranked within the top 10 at this point. So.
Which I was able to tap in my 2 as well. I kind of put myself deep at the hole, which gives you a better chance of running this putt because it fades out away from the water.
Yep. Absolutely. A couple of tap-ins there for par. We'll finish this hole off when we head to hole number 6, which is in the deep pin position for this tournament.
Yeah, and you just want to take your distance driver or fairway drivers, throw them straight, have them finish to the left, not skip too much, and kind of give yourself a short putt at this death putt.
Yeah, there is an OB line and a little bit of marsh behind the basket that could come into play if you push your drive a little too deep or if you try to run a putt that's a little short of prime position, as we are going to see MattyO here throwing first.
And it looks like he made the adjustment from round 1.
And that is parked.
Yeah, because MattyO is on a heater right now.
That is, I mean, pretty much as good as it's ever going to get on this hole in that deep pin position. Deep pin, again, you have those trees you have to try to get around over there by the tee pad for the next hole, and you got to deal with a lot of roots and just deal with that OB behind the pin. This is you.
Yeah, and a little bit of an early release. I needed to check up, and doesn't look like it's going to.
Did you find the OB there, or are you still in bounds?
Found the OB there. Not far from the basket, but not going to be able to gain a stroke.
That stuff here, as we are going to see Sully. Looks like a pretty good line here, depending on how forward it's going to push.
And he got a good skip, and now he has a putt for his 2 to not lose one to MattyO.
Yeah. And Cam, again, essentially fighting Sully for second place at this point. So he's got to kind of match him shot for shot. Again, Matt's kind of out of reach already this early on, but, still obviously Cam trying to push as much as he can here.
And he's going to need a lot of skip.
Yeah, just a little low.
Which he got a lot of ground action and gave himself a putt.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance to run that. It's a little bit of a scary putt, obviously, and it's probably just on the edge of circle 1.
Yeah, but if he misses his putt, it's out of bounds and it's a 4.
And he's going to do neither of those things. He's going to connect on the birdie, and that's a good one to get. Puts a little bit more pressure on Sully's putt to try to match Cam and stay tied with him for second. Of course, Matt is parked, so he's an easy birdie for him. He's not going to lose anything, and this is you trying to save par.
Yeah, like I said, went out of bounds, but I was lucky enough to be inside the circle for a chance at a par save.
I mean, not the way you envision getting a par on this hole, but nonetheless, you do car to 3, which no harm, no foul in that. Kind of a tricky putt here for Sully.
Yeah, he's got to go around this tree, and it basically hyzers towards the OB unless he steps out here to the left.
And also kind of slopes towards the OB as well. So if you catch a little bit of a roll with that disc, it's very likely to roll down towards that OB line. As he is going to straddle out here and look to try to maybe poke a little hyzer putt. He putts with the CT Luna, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty popular putter of choice for someone who throws Discraft. And he's going to sink it, not letting Kane gain any space there.
Yeah, and
Great putt.
Cam, Sully, and Matt played this hole very well. Honestly, I mean, we had the least amount of shots you could take on this hole besides my OB, so
Yeah, pretty good for the
it's a
card.
pretty good hole.
Yeah, absolutely. Would agree with that. So we head over to hole number 7, par 4, 510 feet. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, this one, you're going to throw it to that white stake unless you get a little aggressive with a roller, and really just avoid the ditch on the left and the road on the right, and you should be able to get up and down for an easy 3 on this hole. Most of your competitors are just going to go straight at this white pole and throw their up shots. MattyO kind of
Ooh.
got behind that bush, though.
Yeah, that's one of the spots you really don't want to be. It's going to kind of force him to probably throw some type of crazy scramble shot to try to get up and down for birdie. Again, at least he's got some cushion to spare, so it kind of takes a little bit of that pressure off. So we're going to see a forehand option, which is great. You can definitely play this whole forehand, and get a birdie out of this one.
And that's a pretty good forehand from Sully, as long as he stays out of those bushes.
Might have aced the short pin.
Might have, and that's ideal spot to be at.
Absolutely. As we are going to see Cam just going mid-range off the tee, so not looking to get aggressive here, just looking to put himself in a good place to get birdie, and again, just kind of keep fighting with Sully for that second position on the podium. I know he's capable of the backhand roller on this hole, but he's not looking to bring it out in this situation. That's a good-looking shot.
Yeah, that's really the ideal spot that you want to land at, just anywhere within that middle of that fairway. And then I'm going aggressive here with another roller. I got it in the first round. Got the eagle, so I kind of want to see if I can go 2 for 2.
And that would be impressive. I don't know that anyone's equaled this both times on this tournament. Very rarely do you see it equaled at all in a tournament. And this roller's looking good.
Yep, I just needed to have a little bit more legs.
Oh, man. That might even be better than your first round roller.
It was about 15, 20 foot closer than my first round roller.
Wow, yeah, that is... You've definitely thrown probably the best drives this hole has seen if you combine them both for this tournament. As we're going to see the scepter forehand here from Cam to get up there for his birdie, and that'll do just fine.
Yeah, that's perfect right there for Cam. MattyO's kind of going to have to worry about this bush a little bit.
It looks like flex forehand with something overstable, and that gets a little nose up and high, but still gets up there.
Yeah, it shouldn't be much of a problem for MattyO from there. And Sully just a little routine upshot with a zone, it looks like.
Yeah, most likely. It seems to be kind of the staple forehand approach disc for anyone.
And then here's me for eagle, and I want to give this a good bid right here since I'm closer than I was the round before. And just missed left. Didn't even give it a chance.
Yeah, that's a little bit tough. I mean, if you could have gone eagle on this hole, that would have been pretty impressive. It's still impressive you got in the first round. You're still going to get a birdie here more than likely. So, all in all, you played this hole probably the best of anyone this tournament.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite hole on the course. So it would have been nice to get eagle, but I'll take eagle birdie and 3 under for 2 rounds on this hole.
There you go. So we are going to see MattyO here, not looking to, again, just slow down in any regards. He's about to go 7 down through 7 at this point.
Yeah, and he's making it hard for people to catch him.
Nah, he's not giving anyone a look at all. As Cam's going to get his birdie as well. Sully looking to do the same, so they're going to remain tied for second position heading into hole number 8 with yourself kind of just in behind near the podium.
Yeah, and you can actually see the wind starting to pick up a little bit, so it should make for a strong finish for who's going to finish second and third and fourth for this tournament.
Yeah, very true. Of course, the chase car wasn't too far behind, playing just ahead of us. So we're going to have MattyO here still with the box. Looking to just play that hyzer out wide and try to skate it in near the basket.
And
that'll do.
Pretty much perfect. Again, MattyO is going to be 8 for 8.
Yeah, it looks very much likely. And we're going to see Sully go for the forehand. It's a little bit more rare. But as long as you don't get hung up on that tree on the left-hand side, you definitely can make something happen with the forehand here. Probably a
Yeah.
Raptor or something like that.
Yeah, and that looks pretty good.
Yep.
A little short, but should be no problem for Sully.
And this is Cam going scepter, looking to play that spike backhand hyzer line. That's probably the most common play on this hole, like you saw Matt do.
And he's trying to make an adjustment from going deep, so he goes a little bit higher and still a little deep, but not as deep as first round.
Yeah, first round he was like 40, 45 away. This round he's definitely within the circle.
And then I'm just trying to do the same thing as MattyO, just kind of get it close to that bush. And I released it a little early and hoping it don't skip. And it kind of skips and then rolls way away.
Yeah, that's a little bit tough. Like I said, a little bit inside, but you still have a look at this for birdie. I mean, maybe just outside the circle or just on the edge, but definitely a tough putt.
Yeah, just outside the circle, but I kind of need to hit this putt to kind of keep it within close to Cam and Sully.
And you do it. Really nice putt. Again, your putting performance, overall for this tournament has definitely been pretty darn good. Nice birdie to grab there.
Yeah, but Sully about the same distance from the other side of the hole. And this is, I think, for him to be 7 through 8.
Yes. Yeah, he just had the one miss on hole 5.
Yeah, hole 5.
Normally, sorry, I got confused. It's normally hole 4 on the course, but again, the numbering's a little bit off because a hole was 3. As we are going to see Sully be able to get that birdie, as you described. And Cam looking to match. Try to keep that tie for second going. And yeah, he'll drop that one in, no problem. And again, Matt, the closest of all, will continue to find birdies and continue to seemingly make it impossible to catch him.
Yeah, and first day, the first round here, I was kind of doing a similar thing that MattyO is doing now, but I feel like MattyO is gonna not fizz off at the end of the round like I did the first round.
Yeah, he is definitely holding on as we head over to hole number 9, a 654-foot par 4. Cool little aerial view of it. As this is neat. I like this. Didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, and this one you just kind of grip and rip and go as far as you can.
Yeah, I mean, there's never been a more accurate statement from my co-commentator here. And speaking of people who can grip it and rip it, MattyO is one of those people that can do it with the orbit drive.
Yeah, and that might actually be better than his first round shot that was way out there.
That's definitely pushing 500 or over. Sully certainly has enough power to attack this hole as well. I mean, again, if you can get like 50, 60 feet past that tree line, you are going to have an up and down for your birdie.
And he's hoping for a little bit of flip here. Caught that tree, but
That's still up there.
still up there. He should be able to throw a...
Oh, kind of rolled backwards, actually. But, I mean, he probably still has less than 300 feet to the pin, so should be able to still get up and down for something from there.
Yeah, 400 backhand. He'll be good to go.
So we are going to see Cam look to get as much distance as he can. It's probably Emperor in hand, and he certainly can push over 500 feet in his own right.
He's just going to miss a couple trees, and that's perfect.
Yep, good skip as well. Puts him even more forward. So, again, should have a pretty easy up and down for his birdie. Are you thinking roller here?
Yeah, I'm thinking roller here. I threw air shot the first round because there's a little bit more wind, but whenever I go for distance on this, I'll throw the roller. And I got to have some help there because it is going towards the OB.
Indeed it is. Oh my goodness, though, did it get way the heck down there. It is way up there by the alternate pin position. So you're almost pin high, but just way left.
Yeah, like I said, most of the time I get that just turned over a little bit more. Just with the wind, I was a little lazy with my shot, and Sully, great approach right there for his second shot.
Yep, really well done. And here's Cam just chipping one up there with his forehand, parking the pin pretty much perfectly. So he'll be able to keep matching Sully birdie for birdie and keep that race for second close.
And I shorted my approach shot again on this hole. I had a weird angle that I was throwing it from.
Yeah, pretty easy little upshot here for MattyO just to continue to, essentially do a victory lap at this point. little bit of a tester here for Sully.
Yeah, but the way he's been putting this round, I think he should be fine.
Yeah, he definitely has been putting on quite the putting performance in this final round, and just overall. And he's about to be, now 8 down through 9.
Yeah, and he's, besides MattyO's 9 through 9, he has the best start he can ask for.
Yeah, very true. This is you looking to get your birdie. Oh,
Just left again. Just was a little off this round with my putt.
that's tough. You're going to take a par, and so that's going to start putting you in a little bit of a contest for third position, or at least to stay in the top 5, as we're going to see Cam tap in. Oh, that's a little left, but that's fall in, so he's going to stay matched with Sully for second still.
Yeah, and I'm just going to clean up my disappointing 4.
Aw, come on. Come on, Downey. Lift those spirits up. Just like you lifted up that mini. I don't know where I was going with that. So you're going to see Matt continue to just wax everyone. And that's going to do it for our front 9 of the final round, Mr. Downey.
Yeah, MattyO's perfect through 9. Sully's 1 off of him. And Cam's, only missed 2 on this front 9. So pretty good rounds by our top 3 players.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing a great little finish from our lead card here on this final round for our 29th annual City of Mobile Championships. Again, I'm Dustin Mouret, and I've been leading you through the commentary with old Chris Downey, and we're about to see this thing conclude. So be sure to follow, subscribe, and make sure you catch the rest of this event.